Welcome back to the Vault. I'm Mike Ricola from the NonDē Filmmaking Legal app. Today we're breaking down the option and purchase agreement. If you're a producer who wants to turn a book, a script, or a news article into a movie, this is the document you need. This is the bedrock for your chain of title. Without this signed, you do not own the rights to the story, which means Netflix or any other streamer cannot buy your movie. Before we dive in, let's look at the typical disclaimers. I am an attorney, but I am not your attorney. This is an educational drafting tool. This does not constitute legal advice, legal representation, or a legal opinion for any specific facts or circumstances. These contracts and templates are written to certain jurisdictions governing the general principles of law across the United States. For state-specific laws, look at your contracts and your local laws. Please have a local attorney review this, and then finally use at your own risk. There's a couple quick notes about the option agreement. First, this is an option agreement, which is not a purchase agreement. This is the mechanism. You are not buying the script today. You are paying a small fee for the option price to rent the exclusive rights for a set time, say 18 months. If you get the movie funded, you then pay a bigger fee, the purchase price, to actually buy it. The other thing you need to know is the against clause. We use the phrase applicable against the purchase price. This means that if you paid $1,000 for the option and the purchase price is $10,000, you only owe $9,000 later. It's like a down payment, the first $1,000. And finally, chain of title. This document, like I said, is the bedrock of your chain of title. Without it, you cannot sell your film to a streamer. So let's dive in. The option and purchase agreement. So the clock. Clauses 1 and clauses 2. Clauses 1 is the clock. You are paying the option price, say $500, to lock up the rights for an option period, usually 12 to 18 months. During this time, the writer cannot sell it to anyone else. It is exclusively yours to develop. The extension of the option. The strategy behind clause 2 is filmmaking takes longer than you think. This clause lets you buy more time, say another 18 months, by paying a second fee. There's a warning here. If you forget that this clause and your option expires on Friday, the writer can sell the script to Warner Brothers or anyone else on a Saturday. Next, let's look at the purchase price. If a producer exercises the option, producer shall pay the owner a certain sum of amount of money for the purchase price less the option price. So clause 3 here is the check you write on the first day of production. This is the purchase price. Notice the specific language here, less the option price and the extension price. This is crucial. It means that any money you paid up front is a down payment. If the purchase price is $10,000, you already paid $1,000 in option fees, you only pay $9,000 more. We keep the math straight, simple, and fair. The next clause is the chain of title clause, section 4. This is the grants of rights. Once you pay the purchase price, the ownership flips. The writer assigns the copyright over to you. Look for the magic words in perpetuity and throughout the universe. Perpetuity means forever. Throughout the universe means everywhere, even Mars. So if you're streaming on a cruise ship, streaming on an airplane in France, anywhere, it's your rights. This clause also gives you the right to adapt and rearrange the work. Why does this matter? Because if you change the ending of the book, you don't want the author suing you for ruining their vision. You need the legal right to change the story to fit the screen. Section 5 is the reserved rights. This is what they keep. Clause 5 is what the writer keeps. These are what's known as the reserved rights. Usually a writer will keep the print rights. They can sell a book. The stage rights, they can make a Broadway play, and the radio and podcasting rights. There is a slight trap here. Make sure you, the producer, has the first negotiation right. If the movie's a hit and they want to make a Broadway play, they have to come to you first. Don't let them cut you out of the franchise you help them build. Now, let's look at clause 6, which is the credits clause, where you want to spell out all of the credits clearly and directly with the writer. Then you have section 7, which is your warranties and indemnification. This basically states that the work of art is original and that you are not infringing on the writer is not infringing on any third-party rights. Then section 8, this is the kill switch. This is the no injunction relief clause. We talk about this in every video because it's the most important sentence in the document. It says that if you, the writer, gets into a fight over money, they cannot sue you for the check, but they can sue you for the check, but they cannot get a court order to block the release of the film. If this clause is missing, a disgruntled writer can legally stop your movie from hitting theaters. Distributors check for this first. If it's not in the deal, there usually isn't a deal. So we scroll down, we have the production company's sole discretion, which says that the producer is the sole right to produce this if they want to. Publicity authorization, which allows you to use the writer's name for publicity. An assignment that allows the writer to assign the rights, but not the other way around. And then a short form assignment, which allows you to file under the U.S. Copyright Office for the rights to the work. Finally, we end with the authority and the entire agreement and choice of law clause and severability. This is where you'd sign it. You'd have your name, your title, the writer's name, and the writer's title. Again, this is a short form option agreement. It allows you to control a valuable asset for a very small amount of money while you do the hard work of raising the capital to make the film. So what are your next steps? Join the lab if you want a long form version of this agreement. We'll have it in the community in the next week or so. Download this template. Use it if you need it. It is an educational resource. Fill in the brackets to define your option price and your terms. And remember, I am attorney. I am not your attorney. There is no attorney-client relationship formed. But go out there, secure the rights first, then go raise the money, and let's get to work. Thanks.